Thì ở đây thầy đang có 4 cái expression như sau. I'm not so sure about that. Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Và to be honest, I say probably not. Thì thầy sẽ có một cái bài listening nho nhỏ cho lớp mình thôi. Trong bài này thầy muốn chúng ta nghe và điền giúp thầy xem là với mỗi câu này cô ấy đang đưa đáp án nào, đưa A, B, C, D nào vào phong phần này. Và quyết định giúp thầy xem là cô ấy đang đồng ý hay cô ấy đang phản đối. Ok? Rồi, và chúng ta cùng bắt đầu nhá. Lớp mình nghe giúp thầy này. Rồi, bắt đầu này.
Track 44.
So, Minji, we've been talking about a historical event, and I'd like to discuss with you one or two more general questions related to this. Do you think it is important for children to learn history at school?
Yes, definitely. At primary school, they should be taught the history of their own country and community. It's a way of helping them understand who they are and their place in the world, and also the relationships between different countries.
You said children should learn the history of their own country. What about world history?
I'm not so sure about that. I think the history of their own country should definitely come first. I remember learning about Romans and Egyptians when I was quite a young child, without knowing anything about my own country or even my own continent. I mean, Asian history. I think learning about world history should come later, say at high school or secondary school.
Yes, that's a good point. Do you think most children are interested in learning history these days?
To be honest, I'd say probably not, which is quite sad, as it's a really important subject. Even though kids are obsessed by their smartphones and computers nowadays, they could still use the technology to learn about history. I think the problem is how history is taught. It needs to be made more fun and attractive to children.
Right. You mentioned technology. I was going to ask you about that. Can technology help us learn about history?
Absolutely. We have the technology to really bring history alive. Lots of museums now have interactive exhibits with holograms and so on. Websites are also becoming more exciting with videos of reenactments of historical events, interactive quizzes, and things like that. But for me personally, the best way to learn about history will always be to go to the place where the event took place. For example, I'll never forget the trip we made to Berlin when I did a tour of Europe with my family, seeing where the Berlin Wall used to stand and visiting the museums. That really brought history alive for me.
Ok, nào, cho nối thử nhá. Câu số 1 đi, thầy nhờ Thanh Thảo nào. Ở đây cô này cô đã trả lời là gì nhỉ? Do you think it's important for children to learn history at school?
Yes, definitely.
Đúng rồi, yes, definitely. Đúng không?
Before.
Ok, câu số 2, Trung nào. You said children should learn the history of their own country. What about world history?
I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure about that. Very good. Do you think most children are interested in learning history these days? Nhật Linh nào.
To be honest, I say probably not.
Okay, to be honest, I say probably not. Very good. Và can technology help us learn about history? Thầy nhờ Đào Linh nào.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, very good. Rồi, thế thì đó, như lớp mình theo đây chúng ta có một số cái expression như vậy, đúng không? Đầu tiên nhá, do you think it's important for children to learn about history at school? Câu này người ta trả lời là yes, definitely. Vậy đồng ý hay phản đối rồi?
Đồng ý ạ.
Đồng ý đúng không? Ok. Châu nào. You said children should learn the history of their own country. What about world history? I'm not so sure about that. Vậy thì nó sẽ là đồng ý hay phản đối đây?
Em nghĩ là đang lưỡng lự ạ.
I'm not so sure about that. Thì thực tế là trong trường hợp này nó không còn là lưỡng lự nữa đâu. Nếu nó là I'm not sure about that thì ok, tôi không chắc thôi, thì nó là lưỡng lự thôi đúng không? Nhưng I'm not so sure, tôi không chắc đến vậy, thì ở đây nó đã đang mang cái nghĩa là tôi không nghĩ như vậy rồi. I don't think so rồi. Đó, do vậy cho nên trong trường hợp này chúng ta sẽ phải để nó là disagree nhá. Thế còn do you think most children are interested in learning history these days? To be honest, I say probably not. Nó sẽ là
Không đồng ý ạ.
không đồng ý đúng không? Ok nhá. Đào Linh nào. Can technology help us learn about history?
Chắc chắn rồi.
Chắc chắn rồi đúng không? Absolutely.